Welcome back to the weekly Brooklyn market update brought to you by Engel & Volker's Brownstone Brooklyn. My name is Katriona Kearney and I'm joined again today by Donald Brennan. Hi, Donald. So here we are in February, shortest month of the year, of course. So how did we end January across those 16 key Brooklyn neighborhoods that we track through our weekly data? So Donald, give us the headlines for the new to market and in contract transactions for both the below 2.25 million and the luxury above 2.25 million markets.
So in the luxury segment, we had a total of $180 million worth of new product coming online in January, and 186 million of that going into contract. Below the 2.25 number, we had $237 million of townhouses, condo resales, new development co-ops entering the market, with 245 million being going into contract. So both kind of positive absorption rates there for both segments of the market, which is great to see.
So building off that positive data, can we talk about how many townhouses, co-ops, condos actually went into contract last week?
Sure thing. So in the luxury segment again, townhouses, we had a 28 coming to market and 32 going into contract. We had 5 condo resales going into contract, 14 condo new development assets going into contract, and 2 co-ops in the luxury segment going into market. Below the 2.25 line, we had 25 townhouses going into contract, 69 condo resales, 72 condo new development, and 61 cooperatives entering contract in January.
So anecdotally, of course, from the townhouses that we are selling ourselves, as well as the townhouses that we take our buyers to see, where are these people coming from that are so interested in the townhouses here? Are they coming from Manhattan, or is it people in Brooklyn trading from one neighborhood to another, or within that neighborhood now seeing this as the opportunity to own a townhouse?
Yeah, excellent question. I'm going to share some observations with you right now, and I'd love to hear what you're experiencing as well, Katriona. So it's a mix. I certainly see people coming from Manhattan, which is kind of a tried and true path of migration from maybe condo living in lower Manhattan to townhouse living in a brownstone neighborhood in Brooklyn, or some migration even from the north part of Brooklyn in Greenpoint, Williamsburg, which is a lot of condo product there, which maybe is also a second step for people coming out of Manhattan into Brooklyn and then moving a little bit further south into the townhouse marketplaces. Also see a fair bit of interest and inquiries and visits from people who live outside the state and live actually on the other side of the country in California. At least 30% of the inquiries and visits that I've experienced on some of the townhouses we have in the market is coming from California, Southern California. Which is, again, not a big surprise, and that is a path of migration back and forth from the neighborhoods in New York City, from Brooklyn to many different locations in California. So that's what I'm seeing right now. What are you seeing out there, Katriona?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that movement, across the country, because obviously, we're part of a global network, and so we do get a lot of referral business from other parts of the country. So we definitely sort of have our finger on the pulse as far as that's concerned. And also, you've got this situation where, now's the time for an awful lot of people who are used to living in apartments, who suddenly say, no, I want to live in a townhouse. I want that privacy, I want that room. And they're taking the advantage of the low interest rates and the fact that actually it's a good time to make that transition. So yeah, it's a lot of movement, which is great. A lot of people in the marketplace for townhouses for the first time, and it's always great to have those people out there, out and about. Yep. So are we seeing days on market reducing as we head into the start of what we would call the usual uptick for the selling season as we approach the spring?
Yeah, one thing I just want to add to the previous question, if you don't mind, before we go on there, just that what also is kind of attractive to the buyer of the townhouse stock is, the ability to work from home clearly with, a space in the house that you can allocate to office, either for an individual or shared, and obviously in almost every case, outdoor space of size, private outdoor space of size, either in the garden, front yard, or roof, or a combination of all those three things, terraces and so forth. So, lots of attractive aspects to townhouse living in an urban environment, which is certainly the questions and interest that we see related to that product type. On the days on the market question, in the luxury segment, mixed bag of activity here. I'll go through the different asset types, starting with townhouses. 105 days on the market on average in January for luxury townhomes, which is down over the last 3 months of 2020. Condo resales averaged 108 days on market, which is on par for the last quarter of 2020. New development condominium product, 78 days on market, which again is on par with what was occurring in the fourth quarter of last year. And as a reminder, the new development product is more controlled as far as being released to the marketplace. So you're always going to see that number in most cases being lower than condo resales because it's just a tighter distribution out to the network listing platforms and so forth for that type of product. Co-ops, 26 days, which is significantly less than these other asset types, which is down even over the last quarter of 2020. Below the 2.25 number, townhouses, 231 days on market, which is a pretty good drop from December, but back on par with October, November of last year. The resales condo in that segment, 117 days, which is up a little bit over the fourth quarter of last year. New development product, 119 days averaging on market, which is down over the fourth quarter 2020. Co-ops, 128 days, which is way up and over the last quarter. And one way to look at that in conjunction with the in-contract sales number, especially below the 2.25 number, is that there's strong demand there and things continuing to get absorbed who may have been out there finding buyers. So that's a pretty healthy market in brownstone Brooklyn. The co-op product itself typically is in a brownstone type of home, row house. Some are purpose-built buildings, obviously as co-ops, doormats, and so forth. But a large part of that product is in the brownstone. So it's certainly one of the reasons some owners come to brownstone Brooklyn is to live in that same type of house, but certainly in a sized right kind of home where you're owning a portion of it either through a condominium or in this case shares in a cooperative.
Well, that's it from us. Check back in next week for more accurate and informed observations on the Brooklyn property market. We only actually have, I think it's 3 more Tuesdays in February. So be sure to connect back and hear the news. Donald, do you want to take us out with any final comment?
Yeah, sure thing. Our fourth quarter reports are in our hands now, and the printed materials, collateral. It's been online for a few weeks now, but we have these at our shops now. So feel free to stop by or shoot me an email if you want. I can put one in the mail to you. And it gives a nice picture of what's going on in the marketplace end of last year on a neighborhood by neighborhood basis, which is a little bit different from some of the other reports that are published. And it is how we see people looking for homes in Brooklyn. It's real neighborhood specific. So hopefully there's some great data in there that you can read and learn from. But then as a reminder, that data is summary data of all transactions, everything grouped together. And we know it's not all apples to apples here in brownstone Brooklyn. Row houses, especially townhouses, no two things really are the same. And don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need guidance. Always willing to provide you with insights on selling or buying, and happy to share with what we know with you.
Great. Thank you. See you next week.
Take care. Bye.